It is November 16, 2014. Currently, I'm recovering from my latest relapse or flare-up due to MS, or multiple sclerosis. The type of MS that I have is called the relapse remitting, or RRMS. The reason I smile is because I actually had to look that up because I wasn't sure what it was called. I felt the need to make a video about my relapse since September. My first day was August 31st, 1984, 2014. In the video you're going to see, it will be poorly edited, but I try to condense my experience as for not to bore you with the details, even though there's a lot of content in there that I'm sure you can relate. When I was bedridden for the first couple of weeks, I began to panic and started searching for anyone on YouTube who was going through their relapse while taking natural or homeopathic remedies, as opposed to conventional medicine, and I found nothing. So I wanted to share why I chose to refuse steroid injections and the good that natural remedies have done for me. Now I have to emphasize that I am not trying to impose my beliefs or my experience or views on this alternative medicine. I simply want to show you my perspective and hopefully help those who are really skeptical about natural or homeopathic remedies that there are alternatives to healing. But I'll say it again, this is a personal choice. And if you, like me, are undergoing homeopathic remedies and need the support that I was looking for, I hope this gives you that. And all the best in feeling better. This is regarding a relapse, my recent relapse, which is, I'm still in the middle of a relapse. I'm doing a lot better now, a month later. My relapse started on Sunday of Labor Day weekend. The way it started was I woke up with major numbness from the neck down and sensitivity on my left side under my under my earlobe and going down to a bit to my chest, to the center on the left. Now I can have my hair down, and right now it's okay. So I think that when I go to bed, I think it's when my body starts to shut down, and I'm starting to get relaxed and everything, and then I can't sleep on my left side because my hair, or any little strand of hair that just touches my neck or whatever, it just gets desespera. Anyways, it stresses me out. It just makes me, I just start to get really frantic, and sometimes I'll just jump up and have to start scratching and everything, because all of a sudden with that, I start to think about how sensitive my skin is right now, and so I start getting itchy everywhere on my scalp, my back, and it's like my left hand, has been scraping on my back. I have blood stains on the back of my tank top, or whatever I wear, my top, when I go to bed, because I'm so desperate, and my fingers, I don't feel very much. So I dig in there, and anyway, it's better now. But before, I was just like washing blood stains. Animo, my spirits. It was like, I'm pretty sure anybody else who goes through a relapse with MS, you're just like this. As a matter of fact, I didn't even want to do a video. I wanted to do a video, but it was so awful that I just didn't want to do a video. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't talk to anybody now, but before, it was just, I just didn't want to know anything about anybody. My mom and dad would be calling me, and it's like, oh, you need me to go there? I was like, hell no. Like, I would freak out. I'd be like, no, don't come over. I don't want anybody here. I don't want to see anybody. And you're just incredibly miserable because you can't do anything. And everything has been shot. Your plans and everything. You can't do anything. You have to wait. And so, anyhow, I'm getting really anxious and ticked off right now just telling you about this. Anyhow, so that's how challenging it's been. Because my hands have been weak, at least my right hand has gotten a lot better, and I've been managing with my right hand. So I think because of all the workout and exercise I've done with my hand, it's even gotten a lot better now. I still can't write or hold a fork properly. My left hand just does whatever it wants. Look, like my fingers, it all curves up. Like, that's not even normal to me. It just, whoa. Yeah, and sometimes it would be like yeah. Um, so for for the whole month, I was gonna say for the first 2 weeks, but for the whole month, it still didn't like. I was still like telling myself off because I'm on my own here. I live on my own, so I just that's my nephew back there. In case you're wondering, it's not like somebody took my kids away or anything like that. Anyway, so because I'm here on my own, there you go. Um, I have to. It takes me forever to do a simple task. So sometimes I'll be like, no, never mind. Sometimes every single day you would hear me like just so like now I'm a lot more calmer because I'm actually able to sleep now and I'm feeling tons better. I'm still not out of the woods though, but you know, how I was before it was I didn't sleep. I didn't sleep at all for about 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks almost. Didn't sleep and was just up all night, constantly agitated and stuff, and just I couldn't sleep. So was lacking sleep, and so my mood was just. I was like screaming, "Why the frick is it so difficult to do something basic?" And that was what I always said every day, and that's a PG version. Okay, so I've been doing herbal medication, natural remedies, since I was diagnosed back in 2001, beginning of 2001. But the symptoms, the big symptoms, where I was headed for my first relapse, was the middle of 2000, and I mean, I had just opened my business. I've been very miserable, and I've been in denial for 10 years since I was diagnosed because, get this, and I know that this, happens to a lot of people. I've heard stories about people with cancer and all these. It just, these things happen at the most inopportune time. And it really gives you a new perspective on life and how, and appreciate like how, if you've wasted time in the past, this really gives you a kick um, in the tail to remind you that these things can never last for these the good times cannot last forever. And that was the case with me. I had finally gotten my act together, and I had a band going, and I had opened a business downtown, and this was in the same month. And I started also to I joined the gym, and I got a personal trainer, started doing some weights and stuff, and I was a bit overweight, and so I started getting numbness 2 months later. So this was like in June that I started the business and everything. By September, I had started getting numbness in my toes. By October, the next month, it had worked up to my knees. And then by November, it had gone up to my waist. And I had told my best friend at the time, who rest in peace, she had told me, she goes, "You better get that checked out." Because I chalked it up that it was because I was heavy, and maybe it was like circulation and all. I don't know. That was my conclusion. So I just didn't pay. I paid no mind to it. So so by that time I was like, okay, I will get it checked out. But my relapse got me before I got around to getting to it, and yeah. So sometimes I have to like stop and think about what I just said, because that's another thing that I've noticed. Incoherency issues that I've been having, and it's keeping me at home. It's one of the other things that keeps me at home. I just really don't want to be out with people. I don't want to interact with anyone or anything, because I end up saying things that just don't make sense, and so I don't know, whatever. So, and I pride myself with my eloquent speech. See? Oh my God. Eloquent speech. Anyhow, so okay, what was I telling you? That's not part of the MS. I've always been like that. Um, I take like the scenic route. I digress, and then but I always get back to it. I always remember where I was at, and eventually, if it takes a day or two, I will call you back and let you know. That's right. I was telling you about this. So okay, so the numbness went up to my waist. Okay, so then by the end of November, or was it December? It was around there. I was on my way to work, And so I came off the subway station, and my store was around the corner from the subway station. And so as I walked to my store, I had this feeling that I went in my pants, and I'm not talking about peeing. I went and dropped off my bags and everything, and I told my mom, because my mom was my partner as well at the business, at the store. So I told her that I had to go to the washroom, and luckily there's a washroom at the hotel next door to us. So I ran up there, and when I got in there and I checked, it was completely clean. So I was just like, okay, now I'm freaking out. I had to go back to work and tell my mom I have to go to St. Michael's. Okay, so I ended up going to St. Michael's, and they pretty much saw me very quickly. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, usually everybody knows that when you go to the hospital emergency, you're there for hours and hours and hours, and it's like within a couple of hours they were already doing tests on me and stuff. Several people were, doing the prickling of the pin, and asking me if it was prickly or if it was normal, and just stuff like that because I was so numb. Anyhow, so I'm not going to go into details because we all know that's how you find out when you have MS, right? I went to see my neurologist for the first time. He gave me a book that he wrote about MS, very thin book too. Oh, I can't believe I managed to do that. And I read it that weekend, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is what I have. He made me do the fingers thing where he goes, hold your fingers out, close your eyes. And that, at the time, my fingers, like, I would, you know what I mean? They would be straight. Right now, they're just not doing that. And he goes, close your eyes and open your eyes. When I open my eyes, my fingers were like this, right? Just doing whatever the hell they want. So I've been taking homeopathic remedies. You go through this stage called, it's like a healing crisis. And I can compare it to like withdrawal when you're a drug addict or an alcoholic. Well, I don't know about alcoholism, but drug addicts. I've seen the movie Gia where Angelina Jolie did an amazing job where she's having withdrawal episode going on there, and she's like freaking out. She's like, it's the worst feeling in the world. You want to die. It's so bad that you just want to die because you don't want to feel that horrible feeling. It's like depression. When you have the depression at its worst, you don't think about anybody. You don't think about anything. It's like tunnel vision, and all you see is black, and you just don't want to feel it anymore. It's such a dark place. It's such a horrible feeling that you don't want to feel that horribleness anymore. You just want to end it. You feel like you're better off dead. Anyhow, so yeah, it took me about a month for my mother to ask me, oh, have you noticed that you've been able to sleep? And I was just like, I would stop and think about it. I was like, you're right, I was able to sleep. And other symptoms, like my left eye had gone blind. No, I had gone blind on my right eye. My left eye, I couldn't look to the left. Yeah. Or it was the other way around. Either way, I couldn't look to the left or the right or whatever. And because it was excruciating pain. So it was my first relapse, and I just, wow. And the homeopath told my mom, he's like, we have a really sick girl here. Whole bunch of pills he gave me. Speaking of pills, so right now I went to see my herbalist. Now my homeopath, he died because he looked a lot younger than he was. So the man died of old age, even though he didn't look like he was going anywhere anytime soon. But I'm taking right now, okay, right, there we go. Times 2 a day. And I just took my lunch one with my smoothie. Because honestly, with my hands, I can't really cook anything. And I love to cook, but not like this. I am supposed to have a lot of spinach and kale and all these other veggies and good stuff. And I just don't want, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it. So I just make myself a smoothie with lots of spinach. Spinach I'll eat, especially when I'm having a relapse. I'll eat chips like as I mean, I'll eat spinach, baby spinach, like it's chips. Like I'll actually put it in a sandwich bag and eat it like as if it's chips because I'm so desperate to get better. And I actually feel like a little vibration in my body, like it's like a buzzing almost, like it's reacting like, oh my goodness, this is good for me. I need to do this, right? So I don't know. Anyhow, so I'm taking a lot of pills. That was 9 pills right there, plus another 9, plus 2 in the like 2 first thing in the morning. That's 20, and then 5 for lunch. 25 pills a day. Because I will tell you, about 2 weeks ago, I was bedridden. I didn't want to know anything about anything, and I was eating bad on top of that because I didn't want to cook. I didn't want to peel and chop and stuff like that. So even to make a boiled egg, that was so frustrating. Any kind of egg, to crack an egg open, forget it, with my fingers digging in and stuff like that.